This is Mittenwald, Germany, one of the most scenic locales in the world. The great mountains surrounding Mittenwald mark the border between Germany and Austria. Just outside Mittenwald are the buildings of the Jägerkaserne, home of the 1st Mountain Division of the new German Army. To Mittenwald, as to Army installations all over Germany, come both graduates of the German Army service schools and representatives of the U.S. Military Assistance Advisory Group. Here at Mittenwald, in many cases, old friendships are renewed between German trainees, now instructors, and their U.S. MAAG advisors from other installations. Here, they will work together in the headquarters of an impressive going concern, the 1st Mountain Division of a new army. There is an especially strong camaraderie between the men of this organization and their American advisors. During the war in Europe, mountain troops played an important part. Crack troops of both the American and the German armies were organized in mountain divisions. Much of the work at Mittenwald involves field maneuvers, during which men of the new German army, who have already received training elsewhere, begin the task of welding themselves into a smoothly functioning unit. In the time which has passed since the first contingent of 1,000 recruits arrived at Andernach in 1956, the new German armed forces have grown to a well-trained, well-equipped force of about 175,000 men. The fact that they are both well-trained and well-equipped is due in no small part to the few hundred specialists attached to the staff of U.S. MAAG Germany. The 1st Mountain Division is today one of 9 German divisions pledged to the mutual defense of Western Europe. By 1961, the total forces pledged to NATO by the German Federal Republic will consist of 12 full divisions, the results of years of effort on the part of both the Federal Republic and her American allies. As West Germany's defense minister recently stated, it is also the result of Germany's determination to help the NATO alliance in fulfilling its function, which is basically the prevention of war. For 3 years and more, from the moment of the German Federal Republic's inception, German troops and their U.S. advisors have worked without ceasing to create an efficient military force, which under the firm control of its democratic civilian government can take its place beside the armed forces of the anti-communist democracy. Common tactics, standardized weapons and ammunition, plus well-trained troops add up to a NATO military force of impressive strength. U.S. military assistance advisory groups have played a major role in its creation. The success of the U.S. Military Assistance Advisory Group in Germany is nowhere better demonstrated than in this ceremony, marking the formal turning over of the 1st German Mountain Division to NATO. Reviewing the division on this occasion is General Hans Speidel, himself a German officer and the commander of the NATO ground forces in Central Europe. For our nation alone to undertake the full defense against communist imperialism would impose a colossal burden of defense spending on the American people. For other free nations, individually to counter the threat would be impossible. The United States in its own interest and other free nations in their interests have therefore joined a system of collective security in which the efforts of each nation sustains all. The German people, who have experienced tyranny at first hand, can be expected to remain a keystone of that system.
Free men of the 20th century are in a position to know that totalitarianism is a contagious disease. Wherever it exists, it is a threat to free men everywhere. The German people have perhaps more reason than most to realize the consequence of military unpreparedness in the face of such a threat. In the ranks of free men, they are determined to assist in the defense of that hard-won victory. MAAG, the United States Military Assistance Advisory Group, is there to help them. Now this is Sergeant Stuart Queen, your host for The Big Picture.
The Big Picture is an official report for the armed forces and the American people. Produced by the Army Pictorial Center. Presented by the Department of the Army in cooperation with this station.